Hi everyone, this is Daniel Eigenman here from the Finance Broker Forum. It is a beautiful Sunday morning. I just finished an appointment with a client. He's a FIFO, so really the only time I could really meet with him was on Sunday morning, and I don't mind doing that. I don't make it a habit, but I don't mind doing that if it helps the client. And we talked about, different things, but the question is always, how much can I borrow? And the question is a very simple one. It's a very popular one. It's probably with, how much can I borrow? How much is the rate going to be? What are repayments going to be? Other questions I get asked all the time. But when someone says to me or asks me, how much can I borrow? My answer is always going to be, it depends. Because it depends on a number of factors, and it depends on your income, it depends on the expenses, how much money you got left, but it also depends on what banks you talk to. Because the reality is that every bank will have a different answer. And the reason why is that because they all have their different way of calculating how much they believe you can afford in repayments. This is why, as a finance broker, dealing directly with 30 plus banks, I always make sure that I check with everyone to see how much clients can borrow. It's not always about maximizing how much you can borrow, but when it is, it makes a huge difference. Let me just give you some example. I've done some calculations. For example, if we took a very simple, the simplest scenario possible, one applicant, a single applicant, wants to buy a house, it's got no dependents, earns about $80,000 a year, it's got no debt, so no credit card, nothing. How much can they borrow? Well, it depends. If you look at the maximum they could borrow with one of the banks that I've worked with would be $511,000. The lowest amount with another bank is about $412,000. That's about $100,000 difference between the maximum and the minimum that same person, single, remember, no debt, $80,000 a year, could borrow. So what does that mean? That means that you need to talk to the right bank to make sure that you borrow the amount of money that you need. If you talk to one bank and you get one answer, and if that's your budget, you could be missing out on the home of your dream because it is $20,000 or even $5,000 or $10,000 more than what you can afford because what that bank told you. So make sure you talk to a good broker that will give you a range of options as to how much you can borrow. Oh, geez, someone just fell on the bike. Let me just give you another example. Let's just take a scenario where there are two applicants. They're either married or de facto. They got no dependents. One of them earns $80,000. The other one earns $60,000. And again, they have... Whoa, bless you. Bless you. Probably did on purpose, eh? There's no debt. So what would be the borrowing power? The maximum would be about $972,000. That's 972. And the least amount they could borrow with another bank would be $719. That's a difference. Are you sitting down? That's a difference of $253,000. Imagine that. Imagine if you're talking to a bank at the bottom of the range, and that's your budget again. You could be missing out on the house of your dream. So really, my message today is a very simple message. Have a chat to a broker, a good broker, who can help you shop around, identify exactly what options are available, and to make sure that you maximize your budget. Now, what I'm not saying is that I'm not saying to you that you should borrow as much as what a bank is willing to give you. You always want to borrow what you're comfortable with. But sometimes it could just be about missing out or potentially missing out on the house of your dream because you simply have spoken to the wrong bank. You could have gone next door and borrowed that extra 20, 30, 50, and in some cases that you just saw, $100,000. Provided you are comfortable with the repayments. Always remember that. I always make it a point to make sure that whatever repayments we talk about, you are comfortable with. Okay, my job is not to maximize for the sake of maximizing your borrowing power. It's to make sure that I find you, or together we find the best home loan for what it is that you want to do. So remember, the message today is if you ask a bank how much you can borrow, they'll give you one answer. If you go next door, the other bank will give you another answer. Ask 30 banks, they'll give you 30 different answers. So what do? Give me a call on 0412-022-110. We can have a chat. I can do that over the phone and tell you exactly what your borrowing power is. And then we can work out what is the best strategy. Is that, you want to go to a specific bank, or do you want to maximize your borrowing? Okay, guys, have a great week. I'll see you at the end of the next week. And see you later. Enjoy your Sunday. Bye.